lesson, we're learning how to graph something called ordered pairs, or sometimes known as coordinates. First off, we got to look at what a XY graph looks like. And they call it an XY graph because there's two number lines that crisscross here. One that goes horizontally, side to side, and that's known as the x-axis. And then there's one that goes vertically, up and down, and that's called the y-axis. Now, the numbers that are on this number line are known as a scale. And then what you're counting by, in this case they're counting by ones, that's called your interval. Sometimes you might see some that count by fives or tens or hundreds, depending on how big the numbers are. And then the crisscross, where they cross at these zeros, that's known as the origin. So that's some vocab for this. Now, when you do coordinates, you have to have parentheses around them. Okay? These are also known as an ordered pair. The first number tells us where to go on the x-axis, so it's called the x-coordinate. That's the side to side, the left to right. The second number is your y coordinate, or your number on the y-axis, where you go up and down. Now, when you find these two, 4 on the x-axis and 7 on the y-axis, if you draw straight lines up from or to the side to either one, where they crisscross, that would be the point where these coordinates match up. So I'll try to get this a little bit bigger here for you. So 4, 7 would mean 4 on the x-axis, 7 on the y-axis, and where it comes together, that is the location of that coordinate. Okay? So let's try a couple here. The first one is point A. So point A looks like it's on 4 on the x-axis and 7 on the y-axis. So we look at the number straight below it and straight beside it. So the coordinates for point A, the x goes first, just like in the alphabet, 4, 7. For B, it looks like it's on the 9 on the x-axis, so that's first, 9. And then we look on the y-axis, we go all the way across over here, and it's on the 4. So the coordinates for point B is 9, 4. Now for point C, on the x-axis is right here at the 2, and on the y-axis it's at the 1. Okay, so that's the coordinates for point C, 2, 1. Notice we always put parentheses and a comma in between. Now let's look at some harder ones here. Okay, point A on the x-axis is clear at the end of this scale. It's at 10 on both of them. So this would be 10, 10. Alright, it's hard to write with a mouse. Okay, the next one is point B. Now this one gets a little bit tougher because it's right on the y-axis. Well, remember, 0 is a number. So on the x-axis, side to side, it's on the 0. And on the y-axis, up and down, it's on the 5. So this would be 0 on the x, 5 on the y. And then, of course, parentheses around each one. Okay, and then point C down here at the bottom looks like it's at 2 on the x-axis and on 0 on the y-axis. So it would be 2 on the x, 0 on the y. Okay. Now, one other thing that we'll be looking at doing is the distances between points. Okay, so if you plot a couple of points, like I'll do here on your screen, okay, let's say 1 right there and 1 right there, and we're wanting to find the distance between the two of those, what we do is we start at one of them, and we're going to jump to every crisscross to see how many jumps it takes to get to the next one. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, or 5 jumps over from this one. So if I try another one, there we go. If I try another one here, let's say I put one up here and one down here, and they ask, what is the distance between those two? Well, we'd start here and we would jump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units. So it takes 7 jumps to go from that point to that point. That's how you graph ordered pairs on an XY graph.